I was 17 when everything changed. My name's Lily. I'm 27 now. Back then, I lived in a quiet suburban neighborhood with my mom, Vanessa, 45 at the time, and dad, Greg, 48. I also had a younger brother, Ryan, who was 14. We weren't rich, but we were doing okay. I always thought we were a normal family. We had Sunday dinners, took family pictures during the holidays, and went on a vacation every summer. But beneath the surface, things weren't as perfect as I believed. It all started when I noticed Dad acting strangely. He started coming home late more often. He was always on his phone, smiling at texts he wouldn't let anyone see. He got defensive when anyone asked where he was. At first, I thought I was overthinking, but then one night I saw something that confirmed everything. Dad had left his laptop open in the living room. Curiosity got the better of me and I looked. His emails were open. There were messages from someone named C. They were clearly romantic and very inappropriate for someone who was married. I remember feeling sick to my stomach. I did not know what to do. I could not keep it to myself. I thought my mom had the right to know. She was always kind to us and did everything for our family. So I told her the next morning. I expected anger at Dad or maybe tears, but what I got was silence. She stared at me like I had just ruined her life, and then without saying anything, she walked out of the room. A few hours later, she told me she did not believe me, that I must have misunderstood, that I was trying to destroy the family. It broke my heart. Within days, everything got worse. Mom told my grandparents and aunts and uncles that I had made up lies about Dad. She said I was going through a rebellious phase and trying to tear the family apart. Nobody talked to me. My phone stopped ringing. My cousins ignored me at school. My grandma, who used to bake me cookies every Sunday, blocked me on Facebook. It was like I had been erased from everyone's life. I moved out at 18. I worked part-time and took classes at a local community college. It was tough, but I managed. I rented a small room in a shared apartment. I stopped trying to reach out to anyone. Every text or call I made was either ignored or responded to with cold, one-word answers. I realized I had been completely cut off. The only person who occasionally checked on me was my brother Ryan, but even that stopped after a while. I think my mom told him not to talk to me. Over the years, I built my own life. I got a degree in marketing, got a job, and eventually started working in a company I liked. I made new friends. I dated a bit, but mostly stayed to myself. It was hard letting go of the idea of family, but I did not have much of a choice. They were gone. They had chosen to believe I was the villain instead of facing the truth. 10 years went by. I was doing okay, finally. I did not think about them much anymore. That chapter of my life was closed, or so I thought. Then one afternoon I got a letter. A thick white envelope with gold details. It looked like a wedding invitation. I almost threw it out, thinking it was junk mail, but then I saw the name, Vanessa. It was my mother's name. I opened it with shaking hands. It was a wedding invite. My mom was getting remarried. She was now 55, and the groom was a man named Charles, who was apparently 57. I didn't know him. I had no idea how they met or how long they had been together. But there it was, an invitation to her wedding. At first I thought it was a mistake. But tucked inside the envelope was a handwritten note. It said she wanted to make amends and hoped that I could attend the wedding. She said she had been thinking of me and wanted to reconnect. That this wedding could be a fresh start. She even added that she had plans to make it up to me for everything that happened in the past. I stared at that note for a long time. Make it up to me. After 10 years. After leaving me completely alone when I was just a teenager, trying to do the right thing, and after letting everyone believe I was a liar, after cutting me off, blocking me, turning my entire family against me? The note was written in such a cheerful, casual tone, like everything could just be fixed with a few smiles and a party. Like the past did not happen. Like I hadn't spent the last decade building myself up from nothing, while she played happy family with the very man who cheated on her and blamed me for it. The irony of it all was that she was now marrying someone else, which meant she had finally accepted that Dad had cheated. She must have found out at some point. Maybe they divorced, maybe it came out later, I don't know. But she had clearly moved on, and only now, after all that time, she decided she wanted her daughter back in her life. There was no apology in the note, just vague words about reconnecting. No mention of the pain she caused, no acknowledgement of the loneliness I endured. Just a fancy wedding invite and a promise to make it up to me, like it was a missed birthday or a forgotten gift. I didn't know what she expected. That I would show up smiling, pretending the past didn't exist. That I would sit there watching her start a new chapter while mine was written in loneliness and abandonment because of her choices. I looked her up online after that. She had a Facebook page now. It was public. She had posted engagement photos with Charles, pictures of their vacation, their house, their dog. She looked happy. In the photos, Ryan was there too. He looked older, more confident. So were my aunts and uncles, my grandparents, even cousins who used to call me their best friend, all of them, standing next to my mom, smiling like nothing ever happened. There was no trace of me anywhere, not even a hint that I existed. It was like I had been wiped clean from their history, until now. Until it was convenient to remember me again. I did not even want to go to the wedding. That invitation had been sitting on my kitchen table for years. But part of me was curious. Maybe I wanted to see her face. Maybe I wanted to make her look me in the eye and explain what exactly she thought she was going to make up for. Because a decade of being cut off, abandoned by my family, turned into a walking rumor, that was not something you make up for with a hug and some cake. I did not dress fancy. I did not even RSVP. I just showed up at the venue. A fancy garden wedding spot, about an hour from me. It was packed. I recognized faces I hadn't seen in years, cousins, uncles, people who used to be family before they all ghosted me. No one said hi. Some looked confused, others stared. A few just turned their backs like they did not see me. The ceremony started and I stayed way in the back. My mom looked beautiful standing next to her new husband, Charles. She smiled, laughed, looked peaceful, like someone who had moved on and left her past behind. That past was me. When she saw me, her smile faltered just for a second. Then she waved, like everything was fine. I did not wave back. I didn't smile. I just waited until the ceremony was over and then walked up to her. She walked towards me too, almost like she was excited to see me, like I had come to accept the olive branch she thought she was offering. I did not congratulate her. I did not ask how she was doing. I just asked her one question. How exactly was she planning to make up for the 10 years of family love she made me lose? Her smile disappeared instantly. She looked like she did not expect that. Like she thought I'd play along, like she thought I'd be the good daughter again, but I was not interested in pretending. 10 years ago, I caught my dad cheating. I told my mom thinking I was doing the right thing. Instead, she flipped. She told me to keep quiet, and when I did not, she cut me off. She told the whole family I was lying, and even worse, I later found out she told people I had developed a gambling addiction and was unwell. That was the story. That's why no one talked to me. No birthdays, no holidays, no phone calls, just complete silence while they all smiled in family photos and kept up the perfect image. She never told anyone the truth. Not even when my dad left her a year after the fallout. Instead of admitting what happened, she kept the lie going and played the victim. And now, a decade later, she invited me to her wedding as if I just been on a long vacation. When I asked my question, she said nothing at first. Then her expression changed completely. Her hands tightened on her bouquet. Her posture got stiff and I could tell she was mad. She tried to say something. I think she called me bitter and ungrateful, but I did not care. She was mad that I did not show up to smile for the cameras. She was mad I didn't accept her idea of peace. But I was not interested in peace without accountability. I was not interested in forgiving someone who never apologized, never corrected the lies, and never reached out during the darkest years of my life. She never thought about how I spent my 20s alone. No family, no support, no answers. Just rumors following me around like a shadow. I missed weddings, birthdays, funerals, all because she made me out to be some unstable addict instead of just admitting her husband cheated. I stayed for another minute and then left. People stared and I heard someone whisper something nasty behind me. I did not look back. I walked to the parking lot, got in my Uber and went home. That night I got a text from an unknown number. It was her. She said I had ruined her wedding, that I was selfish and dramatic and had made everything about me. She said she'd been trying to make peace and I threw it in her face. But what peace? You don't get to burn a bridge and then act surprised when the person on the other side doesn't trust you. I did not respond. I blocked the number. I thought about that moment a lot since. I guess I hoped deep down that she'd at least acknowledge what she did. That maybe there was a part of her that felt guilty, but there was not. She wanted to sweep it under the rug and act like the past didn't exist. I'm not angry the way I used to be. It's more like tired. Tired of pretending I was the one who messed up. Tired of carrying the shame that she handed to me. She got a new life, a second marriage, a room full of people clapping for her. I got a decade of silence. So yeah, I showed up to her wedding, but not to celebrate. I came to ask the one question she did not want to hear. And now she's mad. But I think what she really is mad about is that I refused to play the character she assigned me. I was not the broken daughter who needed saving. I was not the gambler or the liar. I was just a kid who tried to tell the truth and got punished for it. So, AITA for showing up to my mom's wedding just to ask how she plans to make up for 10 years of lost family love, instead of playing along with the lie that I was a gambling addict she had to cut off to protect her image. Update 1. I did not expect to be writing an update so soon, but something happened and I just need to get it off my chest. After what happened at my mom's wedding, when I showed up and asked how she planned to make up for the 10 years of lost love she ripped away from me, she sent me a letter, a handwritten letter, no less. It arrived a couple of days after the wedding in a pale pink envelope with my full name written on it in her familiar script. I stared at it for a good 10 minutes before I opened it. Part of me did not want to. I did not trust whatever she had to say, but curiosity got the best of me. I sat down, braced myself, and read. The letter started off with her saying she was deeply hurt by what I said at her wedding. She said she had always hoped I would come back into the family when I was ready to forgive and heal. She wrote that she was shocked and disappointed that I chose that moment to bring up the past and that I embarrassed her in front of people who did not even know the full story. She went on to say that she never meant to hurt me, that she was confused back then and felt attacked when I told her about Dad's affair, that it was a very difficult time for her and she was not in the right headspace to handle things properly. She said that cutting me off was not personal, it was her way of protecting herself from more pain. She admitted that the story about me having a gambling problem may have been an overreaction, but insisted it was not meant to damage me, just to explain the distance in a way that did not drag the family into chaos. She said that by the time she realized it had hurt me more than helped her, Too much time had passed and she didn't know how to reach out anymore. She said she had hoped the wedding would be a fresh start, a way for us to move forward and let go of old wounds, and she ended up by saying, I still have a place in my family if I'm willing to move past everything and choose love over bitterness. I read the letter over 3 times. Each time I felt less and less surprised and more numb, because it was exactly what I expected. No accountability, no apology, just a soft rewrite of history, carefully worded to make her look like the victim again. She still did not take responsibility. She did not say, I was wrong. She did not say, I lied about you. She did not say, I hurt you and I'm sorry. She said she was confused. She said I was bitter. She still thinks I should be the one to move past everything. But I'm not the one who abandoned my own daughter when she told the truth. I'm not the one who let people believe I had an addiction just to save face. I'm not the one who ignored every birthday, every holiday, every call that never came. She wants me to choose love, but I spent a whole decade choosing love. For her, for my family, for people who never chose me back, and I'm tired. I did not respond to the letter. I don't think I will. Because I'm done making the first move. I'm done trying to earn back love that should have never been taken from me. She got her perfect wedding. She got her applause, her new husband, her letter that lets her feel like she did the mature thing. But I got 10 years of silence, shame, and abandonment. So yeah, I got the letter, and no, she still doesn't get it. That's the update. Still not sure how to feel, but honestly, is it wrong that I still do not want her back in my life after all this? Update 2. I'm back with another update that I honestly did not expect to make. Things have taken a turn I didn't see coming, and I'm still trying to make sense of it, so here it goes. A few days after my mom's letter, the one where she completely missed the point and tried to reframe everything as a misunderstanding, I got a message request on Facebook. It was from a man named Charles. That's her new husband. I recognized his name because it was on the wedding invite and the envelope her letter came in. I didn't open it right away. Just seeing his name gave me a weird feeling, like somehow she'd sent him to try again where she failed. But curiosity got to me and I read the message. It was surprisingly gentle and weirdly kind. He just introduced himself and said he hoped it was okay to reach out. He made it clear he did not want to overstep or make me uncomfortable, but he wanted to talk to me if I was willing. He left his number and said I could text him any time. I did not reply for 3 days. I kept staring at the message, wondering what the hell he wanted. I was suspicious, of course. Part of me thought this was just another attempt to loop me back into the family image somehow. But then I thought, he's not the one who hurt me. He was not even in the picture back when everything happened. He just married my mom. So I don't really know why, but I texted him. I said I got his message and that I was not sure what this was about, but I could talk. He was polite and very casual. He asked if I wanted to meet for coffee or a walk. Nothing formal. I kept it neutral and said okay. We met at a quiet little coffee place downtown. I showed up early because I was nervous and wanted to mentally prepare myself. I did not know what I expected. Maybe someone awkward trying too hard, or maybe someone secretly working for my mom. But when he walked in, I could tell immediately that he was not coming in with some big agenda. He was soft-spoken, a little older, and just had this calm presence. It was not the forced, overly cheerful kind of energy that always makes me put my guard up. It was real, or at least it felt that way. He did not mention my mom at all, not once. Instead, he talked about himself and about how he never had children, even though he always wanted them. He said he had nieces and nephews he adored, but it was not the same. And then he looked at me, not with pity, not with that fake concern I've grown used to, but like he was really seeing me. He said he did not know all the details of what happened between me and my mom, and that he did not need to. He said he was not there and it was not his place to tell me how to feel, but in some way, he said he got it. He understood what it felt like to be excluded, to feel like the outsider in your own story. He did not elaborate much, just enough to show me he was not trying to pretend he understood everything, just that he was listening. And then he said that if I ever felt like talking about anything, life, work, stuff I liked, he'd be happy to just get to know me. No expectations, no pressure, and absolutely no strings tied to having a relationship with my mom. He said I did not owe her or him anything. That kind of floored me, honestly. I did not give him much in response. I just listened. I told him I'd think about it, and I meant it. I did not say yes, but I did not say no either. Now I'm home and still turning it all over in my mind. He did not say or do anything wrong. In fact, he was probably the most respectful person I've had a serious conversation with in a long time. But it still feels weird. I can't shake the feeling that even if he's sincere, it's all too close to my mom. Like any connection to her, even a kind one, feels like a potential crack in the wall I've spent years building to protect myself from. And yet, I can't lie, I liked him. I liked how he talked to me like a person and not a wounded bird. I liked that he did not try to fix anything. He just showed up, offered something simple, and did not demand anything in return. So now I'm just stuck. I do not know if I want to see him again. I don't know if this could lead to something good or just open more wounds. I don't want to be manipulated. I don't want to be used as a bridge between him and my mom. But I also do not want to push away something decent just because of the past. I said I'd think about it, and I am. That's the update. Update 3. Just a short update this time, nothing dramatic. Just something I did not think I'd ever say. Charles, my mom's husband, and I have been talking a little more lately. After our first coffee, I still kept my guard up for a while, but he did not push. He'd send a text every now and then, just a meme, a question about my week, or a picture of something random he thought I'd like. It was casual, low pressure, and honestly, kind of comforting. I started replying more, slowly. One-word answers turned into short conversations, and those grew into long ones about life, books, music, random childhood memories. He's easy to talk to, gentle, thoughtful, and always respectful of my space. I do not know how to describe it, but it feels like something I did not even realize I was missing, like a quiet, steady presence that I've never really had before. The kind of warmth that doesn't try to fix things, just lets you be. And somehow in this strange, messy situation, I feel like I found something that almost feels like a father. I'm still being careful, still not letting myself get too caught up in the idea, but for the first time in a long time, I do not feel like I am walking alone. That's all for now. Just needed to get it out. Update 4. This will be my last update. I think everything that needed to happen happened. And now I just need to let things settle. But I did not want to disappear without sharing how things unfolded, especially after the support and advice I've gotten from so many of you. So my mom found out that Charles and I have been in contact, and when she flipped, I mean it in every sense of the word, she found out a couple of weeks ago. I'm not entirely sure how. Maybe he let it slip, maybe she saw something on his phone, maybe someone else told her. I honestly don't know, but however, she figured it out. The moment she did, the storm began. She did not come to me calmly or try to talk it out like a mature adult. No, instead she exploded. She sent me a long, angry message, followed by multiple missed calls, and then a dramatic email filled with guilt-tripping lines and emotional blackmail. It was almost funny in a sad way. She went from, "You've always been the one who pushed us away," to, "I'm your mother and you're replacing me with a man who barely knows you," all in the same breath. She demanded I start talking to her regularly. She said it was not fair that I was building a relationship with her husband while keeping her at a distance. She made it all about herself, how I was making her look like the bad guy, how I was manipulating Charles to get back at her, how she was the one left out. She even accused me of trying to steal her new family. Let that sink in. She's the one who cut me off. She's the one who believed my dad's cheating was my fault for exposing it. She's the one who let the entire family turn on me for ruining their image. 10 years of silence. 10 years of pretending I never existed, and now, because I found comfort in one kind man, suddenly she's hurt? I don't think she's actually sorry. I think she's just afraid of losing control again. She lost it once when I exposed the truth about Dad, and now she sees me slipping into someone else's emotional orbit. Someone who treats me with care and honesty, and she's spiraling. I was not going to reply at first. I was honestly exhausted. I had done nothing wrong. I was not hiding anything. I never reached out to Charles with some master plan to insert myself into her new life. All I did was respond to someone who saw me as a person and not a threat. After she made such a big deal about it, I ended up talking to Charles. I asked if he had said anything to her, but he looked genuinely shocked that she even knew. He told me he'd never mentioned our conversations unless I was okay with it, and he apologized. He apologized for the trouble this was causing me. That alone just broke something in me. I could not remember the last time someone involved in my mom's life had cared about my peace over her comfort. He did not try to justify her reaction. He didn't try to defend her or convince me to just give her another chance. He just said he hoped her behavior wouldn't push me away, and that he meant what he said before, that if I ever wanted to have a relationship with him, he'd be here. No pressure, no expectations. The conversation sealed it for me. For the first time in my life, I feel like I found a father figure. Not the kind that pretends everything is fine, not the kind that plays the image game, but the kind who actually shows up quietly, consistently, kindly. It's not perfect. There's still hesitation on my part. I still get scared that maybe it'll fall apart or maybe he'll get tired of me. But right now, he's proving that people can show up without having to be loud about it. He's proving that real care doesn't come with demands. As for my mom, after a lot of back and forth in my own head, I decided I would give her what she wanted, sort of. I'm not going to dive headfirst into rebuilding our relationship. That trust is long gone. But I will talk to her once in a while, a surface level text here and there, maybe a short call on holidays or special occasions. I am not doing it for her. I am not doing it because I've suddenly forgiven her. I am doing it because I do not want her to make things harder between me and Charles. I know her. She's manipulative when she feels out of control. If I push her away completely, she'll try to pull him into it. She'll guilt him, corner him emotionally, and even maybe try to make him choose. And while I do not think he'd ever cave to that, I don't want to put him in that position. I won't let her use him as a pawn again. So I'm playing nice. I'm staying civil, just enough to keep things peaceful. It's strange. I never thought I'd care enough to keep a connection with anyone from her side of life. But Charles isn't just someone from her life. He's his own person. He's gentle and warm, and most importantly, he's genuine, and that's not something I'm willing to let go of just because she can't handle seeing me be loved in a way she never offered. There's no huge emotional resolution to this. I am not ready to hug it out with her. I don't think we'll ever have the kind of relationship she pretends she wants now, but I've made peace with that. I've spent too many years trying to survive the wounds she left behind to open them up again just because she's having a change of heart or a panic attack about losing relevance. What matters to me now is the calm I've started to feel around Charles. I do not know what this will become. Maybe we'll grow closer, maybe we'll drift, but I know that right now, when I talk to him, I feel a kind of steadiness I haven't felt in a long time. And I won't let her take that from me. Not again. Not ever. Stay tuned for more stories from our girl relationships.